Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. How would you like to come to work with me today? I have lots of viewers questioning me on how my business operates, what we actually do in the store. So I think today I'm just going to set up the camera in the shop and give you a bit of a running commentary on what we do during the day. It's Friday today, it's going to be a quiet one. Well, it usually is a quiet one, but we'll see what happens. The shop that Chris and I both run together are two separate businesses. Chris used to have his business next door to me. It was a second-hand store, and I had my second-hand store, used to be a quilting shop right next door. The owners of his building sold up last year and he had to vacate, so now he's in with me. We both run our own businesses separately, but we run them from the same shop. So come along and I'll explain to you just what it is that we actually do, and hope you enjoy the video. So here we are opening up the shop. We've got a really huge veranda out the front, and because we sell a lot of secondhand junky things, we try to keep a lot of things that we want to turn over quickly or things that are very cheap. We keep them outside in trolleys and tubs and all sorts of things. We have two full aisles in the shop that are completely full of things that we need to wheel out the front. So the first thing I'm doing is grabbing my supermarket shopping bags and I hang them up on the rail as customers walk in the door. There's a sign telling people about the shopping bags and what their uses are and how I came about making them. So all up, this probably took about 9 minutes to open up. This is something that we do every single day that we open. Take all the stock out the front, put it under the veranda. Lucky it's a really nice sunny day today. If it's raining, we tend to push everything a lot closer to the wall of the shop. But otherwise, when it's a nice day, we spread everything out under the veranda at the front. Friday mornings are usually extremely quiet. We don't see many customers at all. But because it's school holidays and just after New Year, there are a lot of tourists in town. We do have a lot of families coming in and having a look around. We're not officially open yet. In fact, we're not even open until 10 a.m, but there's customers already having a look around. I've got lots of racks with my handmade products. I've got my lined totes, my Helping Hands card holders, my puppy poo pouches, and even those kitchen fabric boas that I made recently. Those are all things that go out the front of the shop. Then I have a huge display inside for customers to look at as well. I have an appointment with a gentleman that has organised to drop some stuff off to me. I deal with these people quite regularly. They live about an hour away and they'll contact me when they have some things they want to sell me. He's just arrived and all we're doing now is emptying his car and placing all the box lots of junky bits onto the floor. Where we're putting them, that's my staging area in the shop, so Chris won't be helping me do any of this because this is the stock that I buy for my side of the business. Chris has his own area where his clients go to drop stuff off whenever he's buying or whenever he's doing his e-waste. We both do our own thing in the shop. It's always interesting getting goods from this gentleman. They've got lots of different things. They're downsizing, their kids are downsizing. They've all been collectors for a very long time. And we have a good little system going. They drop their things off. I'll give them a quote for what I'm willing to pay for the product. And then I'll let them know what that price is and they'll say yes or no. They've never said no. Once I've priced everything out, I usually tend to give them a little bit more. This couple know that when I purchase from them, that once I've gone through and physically priced every single item that they've dropped off, I usually tend to give them a little bit more cash once I've tallied up the whole job. And just having a quick look in the boxes, there's already lots of interesting little things in there. There's a weird little gadget in one of the boxes and he's showing us what that is. Apparently it's a tool for removing tonsils. So we do get all sorts of odd things in the shop. A tonsillectomy tool is not something that I've had before. Chris and I don't usually have breakfast until we've opened up the shop. So it's almost 10 a.m. now. Chris is having his breakfast over in the corner there while he catches up on his emails and leaves me to do all the hard work. And now it's time for me to have breakfast and check on my emails and answer some of those YouTube comments. Once breakfast's finished, I'll start with the alterations. I'm working on a lady's blue dress at the moment. She'd purchased it online and put it in the wash, and both side seams completely split. So she's come in just before opening this morning with an urgent job. She needs to wear this dress at lunchtime. After breakfast, that's my first job of the day, to repair the side seams in this dress. Customers just like to have a good look around. Sometimes they could be in the shop for close to half an hour just having a look around and seeing all of the things that we've got. There's lots of memories for people. And being Friday, it's bookwork day. Chris and I still run two separate businesses from our shop. When we make sales, we usually just write everything down on the one sheet, and then every Friday I'll go through and sort out all of the data for his business and mine. It's essentially our payday, so that's when we work out our sales figures and everything for the previous week. The counter with the blue mat on it is mine when I used to be a fabric store, and the one where Chris is standing is his old shop counter. There's a wooden box sitting on the counter in between, and that's the mystery items object. So you'll see a lot of customers looking through the items in that box, and they're all guessing as to what those things are in the box. There's very few customers that actually know everything that's in there. The lady's come to pick up her dress. She was most appreciative that I was able to fix that dress for her at such short notice. Next is another alteration job. I have another lady that came in with 4 skirts. They're all several sizes too big for her, and she needs to have all the elastic replaced. Some of them need full elastic and others need just a small amount of elastic replaced on the hips. Because they've got elastic stitched into the waistbands though, they take me a really long time. So I'll spend about an hour and a half or so working on these 4 skirts in between customers. Then we have one of our regular customers, Michael, and his wife Suzanne. They come in quite often. They live in Melbourne and have a property up here, so they come and visit us every few weeks. They're probably one of our favourite customers. So when they come in, we usually have a really nice long chat together. I've no idea what it is that we find to talk about, but there's always something. Still working on those skirts. Today they just seem to be taking forever. And then we have an interesting family of tourists. A lot of people are curious as to how Chris and I obtain all of our stock. This group of people here have been asking questions along those lines. We offer an entire clean out service. We deal a lot with deceased estates or people moving into retirement villages and they're downsizing from their rather large homes. With the deceased estates, once the family members have gone through all of the things in the house that they don't want, we'll offer a service where we clean out everything. We tell them not to bother getting a skip in. We'll clean the entire property and process all of the belongings that have been left in the house, sell them off in the shop or through social media, or by putting them into the junk trolleys out the front. We don't charge for that service. We often find a lot of good shop stock from these houses, so we don't charge for these sorts of clean outs. Sometimes we can offer quite a bit of cash to people. It's incredible how many people are in the shop today. We don't usually see this, but as I said, it is the summer holidays at the moment. It's just that it's been a few years since we've had customers like this in the shop. It's a really nice atmosphere having so many people coming in and out all day. I have another gentleman that's come into the shop. He's always up for a chat. and today it seems like it's going to be a little bit more lengthy. He's a local guy who lives just out of town a little way. He must be in a very chatty mood today. But we often get a lot of customers come in and join in the chat, as well as we have with one lady. People that come in really enjoy sharing their stories with one another. Chris has disappeared. He's gone off to have a haircut. I think I'm doing all the work today. What do you guys think? You might be wondering why Chris and I run our businesses separately, yet we're in the same building. We've been partners in life for the past 11 years, yet we've both been in business for a lot longer than that. I used to have my fabric and quilting store in another town about 40 minutes away, and then I opened up a second one in Nagambie as well. I've had my business for about 16 years now, whereas Chris was in the shop next door for over 20 years. Eventually, I closed one of my stores and moved everything into the building next door to him. After the building he was in was sold, rather than closing up his business, we just decided to merge everything together and run both of our businesses from the same store. Even though we do everything together in the shop, we do still do certain things in business a little bit differently from one another. And I think it's nice that we both still run our businesses independently, even though we share everything in life. It works for us anyway. In between all of that, I've got some web orders to package and also those shoe bags that I was giving away last week. So I've got everybody's addresses. Those shoe bags are going to one staying in Australia. I think that went to New South Wales. Another one went to the USA, and the other one went to England. And I've also sent one to Alison, who gave me the fabric that I'd made those bags with. It's later in the day now. I've had to recharge my camera because that went flat. So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to go through these boxes that were dropped off to me this morning. I'll make just a very quick list and tally up what I think each box is worth. And once I've gone through all of those items in the box, I'll do a little bit of research here and there. There's lots of really nice items in there. I'll just get a general feel for how much I think things are worth, write that on the list, then go on to the next box and have a look and see what's in there. This is a really interesting cap that was in one of the boxes. I'll often go back to the computer and do some research to see if there's any value in these items. It's a sailor's cap from about 1915, and turns out it's from Denmark. And when students graduated, they would wear these sailor's caps. This one's got lots of signatures on the inside, so it looks like it's all the signatures from their classmates. And it's really quite interesting. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I'll probably end up putting that on eBay. It's a really difficult one to try and put a value on. So it'll probably go on eBay, and that's one of those things that the customer will get extra money for if I haven't allowed enough in my quote to them. This little pink box has so many goodies in there. Sometimes the smallest box that you find has the most amount of value in there. It's full of vintage Gillette shaving gear and cutthroat razors. Several Gillette razors. Most of the Gillette razors are from the 1960s, but I think some of them in there are around 1920 to 1930. So I need to do a little bit of research on those. And since editing this video, I've already put those razors on eBay. Sometimes there's a lot of junky things that have no value at all. We try to make sure that we don't throw anything out. If there are things of very little value, they'll usually go out to the $1 trolley that we have at the front of the shop, but we do at least process everything that comes in. And all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock. So it's time for Chris and I to pack everything up again. So this centre aisle here is our main aisle where we put all of our bigger trolleys and things. Then we have another smaller aisle where we put our smaller baskets. As I said earlier, it's much easier having everything on wheels, although this time around I don't have as much room to put all those handmade items that I usually have at the front of the store. We'll find a way to jam everything into the shop each day and then have it all ready to do again the following day. The last thing to go in at the end of the day are my supermarket shopping bags. They just get hung on the end of the trolley there, ready in readiness for the next day again. After that, it's time to tidy up any loose ends. I'll do a little bit of bookwork to tally up the day's takings. Chris is off turning off all the lights and TVs and video players that he's got going in the corner. I decided also to step out very quickly and show you a view of the lake. This is the park area on the main street. All of the shops are on the main street, which runs through the town, and the view of the lake, or this boardwalk here, runs along that main street. This is only about 100 or so metres from our shop and is a really nice lake to walk around. This is the water park that was built a couple of years ago. That's a permanent fixture in town, so we have that open up in the summertime. Lots of people running around playing in there, and there's also a water park or a water feature in the park area on the grass as well for kids to play in. They do lots of water skiing, jet skiing and fishing on the lake as well. This lake is less than half a kilometre from our house as well, so Coco and I will often go for a walk around the boardwalk. There's just been a new walkway that's been extended to those trees on the other side, which is where the tourist park is. And this is the statue of Black Caviar, which is a horse that famously won the Melbourne Cup. I think there's a few other things it's famous for. I don't know. I'm not into horse racing, but it's a good draw card for the town. Looks really nice on the lake too. Okay, so it's the end of the day. We had a busier day than usual. I think I said earlier it's Friday today. Usually we go to work and treat Fridays as just our bookwork day, our day of catching up on things, and it's when I usually receive most of the alterations. It was actually a very quiet day for alterations today. We spend a lot of time just chit-chatting to people. So we have a couple of our favourite customers that come in quite regularly and catch up with us every couple of weeks. And it seemed like that was what was happening today. But we enjoy it. We love the interaction with the customers. Chris and I both used to run our shops 6 or 7 days a week, and then progressively over the years we've started slowing down in the shop and spending more time at home or doing the things that we love. We still love the shop though. Now we only open our shop Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, so we really enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.